Delhi, Celi, Gamma, Cali, Alpha, Limi, Celio. Know the time and use it wisely. Tell the time and make it so. Red and white, blue and yellow colors show the way to follow. Learn the wave spell, feel its cycle, ride the wave and let it flow.
The sun is warm. When it's close. When it's daylight. It feels good. See what is close. But we're unable to see the stars around us. The other suns that are out in the universe. It requires us to turn our face away from the sun. The planet must face away from the sun to see the billions of suns.
What does that do?
In our universe. It is cold. It is dark. But we become aware of the bright lights that are within our view.
Wonderful. Can you tell me more? How does this relate to Hevlin today?
We dress different in the day than we do in the night. When we are not facing the sun, we put on more garment, clothing, cover our skin. Shield ourselves from the elements, the exposure. Not only do we see more outside of our space, but we feel more. We are vulnerable to the elements in the dark. Covering ourselves is a method of preservation. When we are facing the sun, when we are in presence of the closest star.
I see.
We grow and we feed and we uncover our skin to feel the warmth and have photosynthesis.
Wonderful.
This is a code of conduct. This is behavior that can be mimicked.
Wonderful. And how can we explore more of this code of conduct for Hevlin, especially in her professional pursuits?
Professional is being productive. Productive most. When we are drawing in, we draw in from our sun, our close star. and feeds us, and then we grow when we rest, when it is our exposure to the other stars. That is when we grow. We cover ourselves with blankets and clothing from the elements, the cold, the lack of warmth. There is no generator for cold. There's only heat and lack. When we are not in exposure to our closest generators, our closest suns, but are in exposure to the others. This is when we take time to rest. We take time to be seen. And we can observe the same. But from a distance, Evelyn is more productive when she is within the suns that are close to her. This is where she feels fed most. She photosynthesizes. She recycles the energy that is shared with her. Loved ones. Love is heat. Love is the shine. But our sun, although it may be seen from the other universes, is not a generator of heat for the planets in those universes. It is seen as we see the stars from where we are. We are inspired. We even wish upon them because of the mystery that we find within their viewing. But we do not look for heat.
Wonderful.
We observe and adore. But we still cover ourselves from the elements. It is a time of rest, to go inside, to look upon them, and then rest. Professionalism may be focused on the stars that are close within our feeling, our experience of warmth. We can focus there in professionalism and allow the light to reflect outward to those who are not within our influence of heat, of personal experience and love. We can be confident that we are seen. We do matter and we do inspire, even when we do not touch. And just by being who we are and loving what is within reach.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's wonderful. And how can we help Evelyn today with her sphere of those who influence her on a professional level, especially with this past week and the two incidences. Can we explore that further and how that affected Evelyn?
Observe the self. Observe the waves, the emotions within the self, and be true in our behaviors.
Mm-hmm. And how can she create this code of conduct with those around her?
Do what feels good. Do what feels right. All membranes are permeable.
Mm-hmm. Explain.
Unless she wants to be like iron, like a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Jagged edge, and she does not. You will need to allow for permeability, for things to flow. It will be a learning process. And that's what she's here for. To determine and judge what feels good when it no longer feels good, when it no longer serves her. She can look at it and determine why, and then create what is now learned to be a preference. We do not know what we want until we experience what we do not.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, thank you. And how can she apply this to her own projects and services and create the value and reciprocity in what she does for others?
Extend to her outer limit.
How so?
Create value by filling the space with content. It's like fire or burning or smoke that fills the air. It can become suffocating if it does not expand. Fire starts something new, but requires also the product, the smoke from combustion, must spread across the atmosphere. It requires expansion. The smoke is the content. Burning, being productive, burning and creating newness will create a byproduct that will require expansion, because the other organisms, everything around the space must breathe.
Yeah.
So the sharing of information of byproduct must expand itself by creating content. The evolutionary cycle will require space, room for shifting and expansion, and that is not the job of the fire to worry about. And the fire solely is concerned with what is within its combustion, its own influence. The planet worries about the rest. Fire and air are separate for their own reason. They each have their own job. If Hevelin is requiring space, the planet will provide it. And the fire does not ask where it will come from. The fire concentrates on the work, using the atmosphere around it, drawing it in, while at the same time requiring more of it for its own smoke to dissipate, while at the same time sucking out the oxygen from the space. See? Being productive means using what resources are in your favor and concentrating on the matter to pull it apart, dissect it, digest it, burn it, till there's nothing left to burn.
Deli Kali Alpha Limi Celio. Know the time and use it wisely. Tell the time and make it so. Red and white, blue and yellow colors show the way to follow. Learn the wave spell, feel its cycle, ride the wave and let it flow.